we did the box plots and the forecast. But anyway, that's a different story. Go over here, and let's go over here. And essentially, there's two more things we want to do. All right. There's two more things we want to do. One is we want to what do you want to do? One is we want to create a plot, okay, create a plot that we want to create a plot that plots the opening, the closing price for the first and last days of the week. Okay. All right. Then we will come back and we want to add some more profit plots. We want to do a profit plot based on 6 months worth of data, 12 months worth of data, and and 2 years worth of data. Okay. So here we are over here. All right. Let's come over here. Let's come down here. Watch if anybody shows up. All right. So let's just review our code to date. Okay. I've already run this, but let's just review our code to date. Again, we started out with just the Quantmod package. Okay. And all our main stock charts were created using nothing more than this is the exception, nothing more than single functions. And that's and that's the advantage of using Quantmod over TinyQuant, because you don't know anything about programming. Everything's done within the function call, okay? Except for up here. This is done, as you can see, was done using ggplot2 and dplyr and stuff like that. So anyway, here's our packages. Okay, here's where we grab the data. We include the sticker there. All right, so let's load our data. Let me come down here, and now we got our box plots. Okay, for the most recent through October, middle of October. And as always, the whiskers represent the high and low closing price for that month. All right, and the box gives us some idea of volatility. The line in the middle is what's called the median value, and the round circle is the average value or mean value. So we can look at this and we kind of get an idea that, you know, what this might look like as a plot. Let's do something a little funky here. Let's change this box plot. Let's change this to Y. Close. Y, X. And once you see it this way, I think you understand a little more what the plot actually looks like. Don't quite understand why that didn't work. But anyway, okay, so anyway, so this gives us some idea of the volatility. If we tilt it, if we rotate it to the left, it'll give us an idea of what a histogram might look like also. So we do closing prices and volume. All right. Again, very simple, straightforward function calls. A candlestick plot, again, all we did was change the type. This is called a matchstick plot. Okay. Again, all we changed is the function. Now, also I point again this two things. This allows us to subset, as it says, to subset the data. So we can download as much data as we want to, and then subset it based on days, on weeks and months, on quarters and years and stuff like that. What this does, this takes the ticker symbol from above and assigns it to the name of the plot. Okay. This is what's called a bar plot. It's a similar thing. Obviously, green bars are better than red bars, but this is the simple moving average plot. You can see that the IBM has been a little crazy, quite a bit of volatility above and below the line. What's this? RSI plot again, 40 and 70. This says 80 with 40 and 70. Okay. The RSI plot, you can see that IBM had a pretty good run back over here, back in August to September 2025. But at the beginning of October, the momentum shifted to a bullish momentum. Now we look at quarterly monthly returns. We're still simply using the function call. We're simply calling a what's called a simple return. The period is that we want weekly returns, no subset. Arithmetic means basic as opposed to log returns. Again, this assigns the ticker name to it, leading. Then we create a simple bar plot. Here that is, the name. although the name function doesn't appear to be working, but that's okay. And you can see IBM has had more positive weekly returns since 2024 than negative returns. Now we look at monthly returns. You can see that IBM has more, since 2024 has more positive monthly returns than negative returns. Quarterly returns. And you can see since 2024 IBM has had more more quarterly returns, positive quarterly returns than negative returns. So now let's come over here. Let's work on our plot. Okay. Of course, as always, if you're in the background, by all means, stop by and give me a few encouraging words. Okay. Okay. Let's go back over here then. We're going to look for our section of our code here. Word inquiry. Okay. So this. Okay, good. Good. Just to remind R and for each month is okay. You understand what I'm saying here now? As always, again, don't be bashful. Stop by the chat session and say hi. So we're going to put this back up here now. Okay. And we're going to put this someplace. I'm not quite sure where I'm going to put it yet, but okay. This is a beautiful way to visualize monthly opening and closing trends over time. One line, very good. Let's build a step-by-step R using Quantmod dplyr like this. Okay, good. Now how are you actually going to do this? So this makes sense. You're going to pivot longer, summarize first date, last date, close, interesting, which min, date, close, which max date. Okay? Then you're going to pivot it longer. Huh. Interesting. Plot one line per month. Okay, let's see what happens here. Let's minimize that actually. And where are we going to put this at? Let's put this Let's make sure let's make absolutely sure we got all the code. So let's get rid of this. All right. And again, come on. I know some of you are back there watching, so don't try to hide. Okay? Don't try to hide. So I already see one viewer, so my question is, where are you? See, it says can't combine first date and last date. Thinking. Let's go back over here then and get rid of this. There we go. Go back over here. Okay, great catch. That error happens because pivot longer was trying to mash dates and numbers in the same column. We don't need pivot longer, but instead build a tidy 2-row summary per month and then plot. So we got this here. We got this. Build 2 points for each month. Interesting. That looks pretty nice, doesn't it? Yeah, I'll accept that. I'll accept that. Because basically, when you look, so now it's up for the first month. Well, I suppose that's the way it's going to work in it. I was thinking it'd be nice to have these one on top of each other, but that's not the way it works. Because it's kind of hard to see this. So anyway, so I finished down, finished up, up, down, up, down, so forth. Okay, very nice. So I'm going to keep that for right now the way it is. It's not perfect, but I'm going to keep it anyway. So now what we want to do is we're going to come back down here to the forecast, okay? We're going to call this okay? So we come up here. Now this is our 6-month forecast, okay? And there's our forecast starting for the 1st of October. Now obviously this isn't going to work quite right because hey, we got that big jump in the price, right? Now we're going to do it. Now we're going to use 12 months worth of data. All right, 24. Let's just say 1024. The question is, what's this going to look like? And again, this doesn't really change anything, all right? All right. $24 months worth of data. Okay. That's going to be 20. So 2 years, right, would be, now come, I know you people are out there. I know you're out there somewhere lurking in the shadows. Don't be bashful. So, 2 years data would be 2023, all right? Alright. Okay, now this is interesting. Interesting. It's interesting that, let's do something a little funky here. Let's start the forecast. So let's forecast start. Let's start on the forecast back on 1 month. Okay. Now I will mention that this is probably going to become my my main stock forecast program. It's much more compact than the last one I did, but it contains all the data. So now we're on forecast starting back additional month. And we want to forecast. So you can look back here, you see at this point it's not really well, it's kind of following the trend a little bit, okay? Let's come back up here. Let's do a 60-day forecast, okay? Now come, speak now or forever hold your peace, all right? All right. Now we go to 24 months data. So what I'll do, I'll also put the link to this Github repository in the description underneath the video also. Now we're going to take the same thing. So what do you think? Obviously it didn't pick up the volatility here, right? Here's the plot. Okay, so this one has a price finished at about 12.5. And this one has a finish in about 13. Again, 24 days worth of data. Now come, I'm getting ready to shut this down unless someone shows up. But this had a finish in under 13. Interesting. Very good. All right. And we're going to try one more thing. Let's see if we can produce a finished report from since everything runs, right? So the question is, what's the best plot? And what's the best time frame? .5, and so this finished a little lower. Of course, they're all wrong. 12.5, and this is so to a certain extent they all finished about the same. Okay, so the question is, what's this tell us about profit and stock forecasting? Well, it probably tells us that it's not really good for reaching out for predicting the past. So there you go. There's your stuff. Well, let's try one more thing as promised. We're going to try to convert this one time into a PDF document or into a HTML document. Okay. Because we're using Quattro, right? We're using Quattro. Let's see what happens. Last time I tried it, I got an error message. It may have something to do with the way Quantmod works. I'm not really sure. That's okay so far. I also mentioned we should have a table of contents also, okay? Be sure to check the description for the link to the repository, okay? And here we go. So it did run. Good. We need to do something to get rid of the okay, so let's try this again. Now this should give us the table of contents. We also need to do something to clean up the code a little bit to get rid of all the output, right? And there's our plot. So that what happened is this is all. What this means is we got this and up one level too many. But you come down here, we got to get rid of all the output, right? So there's that. There's that. There you have it, my friends. How to create an HTML report with table of contents and stock analysis using Quantmod and the Profit package.